progress. When I first got to Oregon State, we were trying not to lose by 30. And this year, because of these guys' hard work continually, we were in absolutely every game we played in the Pac-12 this year, which is a first for us. And I know I use the term, it's like kissing your sister when you say it's a moral victory, but I would be remiss if I did not point out to you folks how hard these guys have worked for this entire season, when trial and tribulation here, every single spot they could have stopped playing. And as you saw out there, they weren't going to stop playing even with 18 seconds left. And I'm extremely proud of these guys. So with that, I'll open it up for questions. And if you just raise your hand, we'll go from there.
Please raise your hand for a
Back
microphone, Carrie, and Bree can help you out right here.
Coach, what was the difference between this game today and the game 4 or 5 days ago?
Is that a trick question, or did you not see Andre Roberson out there? Oh, okay. No,
Is that the only difference in the game then, do you think?
I thought that the fact that we beat them was a difference. They came, ready to play. First and foremost, I don't want to take anything away from them. They had a great game plan, and that's first and foremost. But I think the real thing that had hurt us were the second chance points, offensive rebounds. When we played them at their place, we did a great job on the boards. We did not do as good of a job this time around. Yet, having said that, we're right there, even with the mistakes that we made.
Craig, what did they do defensively to shut down Joe and Ahmad, and specifically Joe, to see him go out this way?
Well, I'll back up for a minute. They did a great job on Joe. They double teamed him, but Joe's tough game has come from the fact that we've had to ride Joe this season way more than we could ever have possibly imagined. And while they did a great job on Joe, Joe is spent this season. I mean, there have been games where he's played 35 minutes, 36 minutes, and absolutely carried us all season long. And I think just the miles caught up to him. So, but I do not want to take anything away from Coach Boyle and the Buffaloes. I like their team a lot. I like Tad, and they did double them, but we missed Angus and Daniel Gomez this year, and Joe had to pick up the slack for both of those guys. Yeah.
Coach, Colorado has had some struggles closing out games from the free throw line throughout the season. You elect to start fouling and setting them to the line with over 2.5 minutes remaining. Can you talk a little bit about that decision?
Yeah, well, the decision to foul that far out was because we were that far away, and we wanted to. We had to find a way to hopefully get a chance to get it closer with the clock stopped. I don't think it was anything that was masterful. It was what we had to do. We were trying to foul the guys we thought might miss, and then we got lucky when a couple of guys who don't normally missed. And with a minute 53 to go, a minute 52, we told our guys not to foul, and they called a real touch foul at the end there, which I thought was completely out of character from the way the game was being called, and that was kind of the only weird thing that happened. But we when you're down, when it's a 2-possession game with almost 2 minutes left, I wouldn't foul automatically. I thought that was a little weird.
Questions for Eric or Roberto, please?
I was going to ask Craig. Can I still ask Craig a question? Sorry. Thanks.
No,
Craig.
You can't ask.
Craig, you mentioned you guys made a lot of progress this season, and obviously you've talked about the process throughout the season.
Yeah.
That being said, heading into next year then, where do you want to be? What is next year in the process?
We want to be an NCAA tournament team next year. I mean, that's where programs at this level strive for. That's what we strive for. We have tried to raise the bar every single season we've been here. And I think we've done that in a way that doesn't show up in our record this year. And, I think most of you folks who know me know that if I thought we were stinking up the place, I probably would say it. I think at times in games we stunk up the place, but I think overall these guys played so darn hard for so darn long. I would not trade these folks, these dudes over here in for anybody. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Quick question for you two. Defensively, tonight you guys were running the zone and it really shut them down last week in Boulder, but tonight they started knocking down shots. Do you think that was really the difference to this game?
Yes, I would.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, they were knocking down some tough shots. And, the big thing with us losing this game was, like Coach said, them out-rebounding us. Last game we controlled that, and this game, they made an adjustment and came over our backs and just, pumped us on the glass. So I think that was a big thing. That this is our major conference, so people are going to knock down shots, but I think the big thing was rebounding.
Good point.
Front here.
Roberto, a couple questions about Spencer Dinwiddie. You guys have gone back and forth the last two games. Can you talk about what you see in him and the kind of player that he is and the kind of matchup that he is?
Well, I mean, for me, it's really a fun matchup. I mean, Spencer and I are really good friends, and as last night, we were just talking about the game and just kind of giving each other just a little fun jokes and just playing around. But when it comes down to it, I mean, we're really competitive, and we're out there just trying to play our best against each other and just try to one-up each other. And he's a great player, man. I mean, I got to give him a lot of credit. He made me take a lot of difficult shots today, and Colorado did a great job of being in help and just being a solid team overall. It's defensively and offensively, but like I said, man, it's a fun matchup playing against Spencer, and I mean, hopefully I could play him against him next year.
For the two players, did you guys feel like Andre Robertson made a difference out there on the floor? Did you feel it out there today?
Most definitely. I think so. I think it just gave them a different look. They knew that if they missed a shot that he would be up there near the glass, and as far as offensively with us, me penetrating, having a big presence like that in the paint who can leap and get extremely high, it definitely makes it tough and makes me alter a couple of shots. So I think he does a lot for their team, and I mean, it's the reason why he's one of the best players in our league.
Roberto, can you talk about Spencer's half-court shot? Did you think that changed the game in any way?
It definitely gave him momentum going into half. We're trying to foul, and I mean sometimes that's just how the ball rolls sometimes. And it was a good shot. I mean, I was just hoping that it didn't go in. I was watching it, and I was just hoping, and I mean they just went in, and they got momentum. But we came back and fought, and that's been what we've been doing this whole year, and that's what our team's all about. I mean, we haven't given up through all the adversity that we had this year, and I think especially with the record that we have, like Coach said, it doesn't really indicate how hard we've been working, but with the record that we have, I mean, we had plenty of chances to give up, and it really shows our character, fighting through it and just persevering and just going hard each day, especially when you're not getting the result that you want. I mean, it's tough when you're not getting the result you want to come out every day and work hard, but I mean, we fought through it, and that goes to say with the great coaching staff and great players that we have on this team.
Roberto, you've been around for a lot of the process that Craig's been talking about. Are you guys still, not necessarily still believing in it, but do you feel like it's working, and are you guys do you think that it's set up for next season to be a tournament team like your coach was talking about?
Most definitely. I mean, you look at what we're missing as far as Angus Brandt being there and Daniel Gomez, just the two, those are big pieces. I mean, a lot of people just kind of forgot about it because we were playing and in a lot of the games without those two, but just imagine with them. I mean, it takes a lot of pressure off of everybody. Those are two leaders out there on the floor. I mean, commanders and Angus, and just more guys we can rely on, and it would definitely cut a lot of minutes down for people. So it just makes a lot of things easier. And you saw with Colorado how much better they played when Roberson was there rather than when he was out. So I mean, Angus Brandt is good. I mean, I know a lot of you guys in here should know that, and if you don't know that, you guys will see next year. But I mean, that guy can play. So I mean, it's definitely would be a lot easier with him. But not having him, that's no excuse. We just fought through it as a team, and that's what we do.
Right here in the middle.
Coach, looking ahead to next year, is one of your goals to maybe play more man-to-man defense?
Well, we were playing man-to-man probably. If I had to give you an estimate on percentages, I would probably say up until our last two games, this game and the one against Colorado, we were predominantly playing man-to-man with a little bit of 1-3-1 in there. What we try and do with our personnel is try and play the defense that gives the other team the most trouble. But I tell you, the way these guys played our 2-3 zone the last couple of days, I might have to revisit it. But I thought our man-to-man had gotten better over the last year and a half. So I hope that answers your question. I think we played a lot more man-to-man this year than we have ever played. And we're always going to try to find that right balance.
One or two more questions.
Yes.
Craig, is the CBI any possibility, and would you favor continuing to play the season if you had the opportunity?
Well, normally we would say yes to that, but these guys want to be NCAA tournament guys. So I don't know with our record if we would even be invited, but we are raising the bar, and we want to feel the sting of not playing in the postseason for the first time, and see how that motivates us for next year.
In the back.
Hi, Craig. Back here. Two-part question.
Sure.
I was in there talking to Joe. He's obviously very emotional. Can you just sort of maybe put a capper on his career for us? And also, did you feel like this game was kind of typical of your season?
Let me answer the second question first. It could be viewed that this was typical of the season, but I got to tell you, we feel like we're playing much better than we were playing at the beginning of the season, and at the beginning of the conference season. I think we were playing even better when we were at full strength with Angus. But it didn't feel like we're out of that game so much. Like I said earlier, when we cut it to 6 with 1:50 left, it felt like, okay, we can do some things here. And then there was that foul call that took it back to 8, and then it started to feel like the same old. With regard to Joe Burton, I'm sure he's emotional. We were all emotional. I was the main one emotional, this being his last game and Joe being my first real recruit here and helping sort of help turning this program around. And I told Joe he was really upset that he didn't play better. And I tried to explain to him that we wouldn't even be where we are as a program, going, from being sort of a laughing stock before I got here to being competitive in every single game you play without Joe. Joe has been a wonderful citizen of Corvallis. He has been a wonderful representative of Oregon State. His philanthropic personality is infectious in the community, on the team, with his family. We are going to miss him. But the best part about Joe Burton is that he is a wonderful kid to coach. And he has matured in such a way that his family and his team and our school can be proud that we were a part of his development. But what he's sort of evolved into is just the kind of person that you want out there representing your program and representing you when you're not around.
Time for one more question.
Eric, you're a guy who's gotten a lot of talk about an NBA potential playing at the next level. With this season now over, have you thought about what you're doing next year, and are you coming back, or have you thought about that yet?
No, I haven't had a chance to think about that. I mean, I love this team. I love the coaching staff. I mean, it's hard to think about that, during the season. I love playing here, and, I'll just think about that stuff after the season. But, I love this place, so that's not even a thought right now.
Good answer.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks.